Could talk about Black Sabbath too. Huge, massive influence. And I got to meet them even before a recording musician. I met them just after we started the band, and we hadn't recorded anywhere. I went to see them in 1977 with Van Halen opening. And I got to meet them because this guy, Bess, was working at the Gasworks at the time when Never Say Die was being recorded in Toronto. Geezer and Tony were coming to the Gasworks every afternoon for lunch and for beers. So he got to be friendly with them, and they hired him as a guitar roadie. The doorman from the Gasworks gets hired for Black Sabbath because he's a left-handed guitarist. So that's how he got to know Black Sabbath. Now, Black Sabbath have a book that talk about Bess, and he's the guy that they put in the back of a transport truck with all the equipment to smuggle across the Scottish border. And you know as well as I do, there is no border between Scotland and England. But they told him that there was, and that he has to hide. When he got to Scotland, they had the police come and take him down to the station and hold him there till after the show. So he sat on the bench in the police station for like 8 hours while the band set up, did their show, and finished. And finally, Tony and Geezer came and picked him up from the police station. But this is a really comical. That's who this guy Bess is. So he becomes our light man. I haven't seen this guy in 30 plus years or something. But it's interesting that the people that it tied together, So from that, we ended up going to see Black Sabbath with Van Halen opening in Niagara Falls. So we got to meet Black Sabbath in the 70s, Ozzy's last shows. That's what we got to meet, Black Sabbath. So then, of course, years later, I'd even done shows. And of course, Tony knows who I am. He knows that I'm the punk kid that he met at that show back in Niagara Falls in 1977. He knows that. It's just that I was friends with Dimp, the guy that they used to call Dimp. It's actually quite remarkable how things. So, yeah, when I talk about these great opportunities, that was the biggest opportunity. That was really the first time I'd ever been on a big stage to see what it looks like. Imagine watching Black Sabbath and Van Halen doing sound checks. And that's the first time you've ever been on a stage before. I'm fucking looking at Eddie Van Halen's guitar right up close, Changed my life forever. Everybody has those moments, right? It's still interesting to talk about them. What an interesting way to get together. I can still remember Geezer making fun of us. He leans over and he calls us colonial cunts. Canadian colonial cunts. That's what he called us. It's now that I've been to England a number of times, I know where that's coming from and why. And it's just, as they would say, taking a piss at you. And it's pretty funny.